Hey guys, we're here with my boy Murat. You might remember him from top 16 at the NAWCQ with Branded Despia. So today we thought we'd take the time to quickly go over your list, but also just your general thoughts of the deck post-ban list. So yeah, I guess I'll pass it off to you. What are your thoughts on the deck with this new list, new format?
Yeah, always sticking with Branded. As I mentioned in previous videos, it's my favorite deck. We're well positioned still, luckily, with Albion and Puppet surviving. I mean, limited Branded Fusion is a slap on the wrist. It does hurt in some occasions. It was a luxury to be able to open it, or when activation is negated to just reactivate it, the second copy. But it doesn't kill us, and yeah, I'm confident in the deck with my first a little bit of testing, but anything can change, going forward. So
okay, yeah, I guess we'll go over the list and then maybe so many other discussion points.
Yeah, so take this list with a grain of salt. It didn't really change too much, but just this is a good opportunity to start a discussion around how the deck might play. Not too different though. You have your searchers. I am playing 53 cards. I didn't really want to go above 60, but I think the elephant in the room right now is the Yubel end boards. So that I'm just trying to keep my non-engine count high, because that end board is really difficult to break. So yeah, so this is gonna be just the regular, good old Branded cards. Your main engine. And then with Branded Fusion being banned, we're on triple High Spirits, which is a pseudo Branded Fusion. So these cards really get you to it. You can, with the increased count of Branded High Spirits as well. I'm really not scared of Droll that much, so I'm actually back on Allure of Darkness because of that as well. And yeah, this is the last Bestial that I'm maining. It actually feels good to have some potential interruptions on your opponent's turn as well, because this deck typically doesn't play any hand traps. I'm still on only 2 because this is a pseudo Cartesia with Allure of Darkness as well. There's a lot of ways of getting at it. I haven't really missed it too much, the third one so far. Yeah, WinCon really, just because every deck just recurs for free, you're trying to break the board and give this to them. I mean, not much to explain. It gets a lot of hate, probably rightfully so. It makes the deck. I'm playing 1. I'm trying to keep my normal summons minimal as always, just keeping in mind that you wanna, normal summoning against the Yubel board feels terrible, just because there's so many bait options, so just trying to keep that low. And then now this card became mandatory in new lists. Just a great word to recur this, and Branded Fusion. And you are going to banish your Branded Fusion with duplication, so it's very important to keep this in the line. Do not banish it with Albion. Keep it in graveyard, or just keep it handy. This is how you're playing the long game now. So you can't even side it out, unfortunately. This is not a great card going second, but you need to keep it. And spell cards, as you can see, we're playing a lot of it. I'm on triple. These guys, it's standard. Now I'm playing double talents. To be honest, it's not ideal, because there'll be hands where you have these guys not live, and maybe you'll have Allure. So now, you have weird hands there with 5 spell cards. You're dying to a single interruption. But I found that draw power is super important going second against established boards, just because the way to build the Yubel board is to try to keep your bait out interruptions and try to keep your hand count high, so then you still have gas to push through and ideally puppet lock your opponent. This card, I didn't get to test it too much. In the idea is you're playing it, it's solely for Yubel really. I'm trying to trade 2 for 2 between Varudus and Desiree to go into this. It immediately goes to graveyard, but you got rid of their best 3 interruptions. And now you also baited out Desiree Sen, So now your talents are live, your thrusts are live, and you have a fusion in graveyard. So if you go into Albion, you don't have to discard by going into Lubellion. So you have plays, and this can discard, you know, the Shrouded Dragon. This can discard an Albaz. This can discard a Mercurier. So there are ways to get value out of your discards. I think that's the main thing with Branded. You just need to be getting value out of your discards and keep the hand advantage to a good amount. Yeah, this is our new pseudo Branded Fusion. Yeah.
Side out at all going second?
I side out 2 of them. In fringe occasions, sometimes I side out the third, but it's good to have one in hand, I think. Standard.
Feels bad.
Feels bad, RIP. So 1, 1, 1. I feel like this is mandatory at this point. It's your follow-up in a lot of cases. Because I'm playing Branded in white, I'm on 1 Branded in red. Probably the best card in the deck. Yeah, I can't play without this. It's also good. You can, you know, hit Phantom of Yubel, you can hit Seals. It's always a discussion between this card and Goldsark. In Nats, I was playing Goldsark because I was in Allure, but now with Allure, I'm banishing enough cards that, you know, it's a potential hit, so I just want to get extra value. Also helps you play around Imperm a bit better, because you don't, if you summon, say, Albur, and it gets Imperm, and you have an Albion in your hand, right? Sark doesn't push through that board, but this can send a Sorinir, and now you have an access to Branded Fusion between these 2 again. And these 2 guys.
So no grass?
No grass. I tested in 50 grass, it wasn't good. Grass, you have to really sculpt your deck specifically for it. Probably most likely play 60, play I think you need to play tier elements with grass. Yeah, it might be the better version, to be honest. I'm not sure. We're all testing it so early in the meta. I'm very actually confident with the main, so I don't want to say. Playing grass is a whole different method of playing Branded, so I can't really speak to it as much. That's a whole other video. Let's go to extra deck now, because extra deck is weird. With Super Bowl, it's so hard to fit cards in, right? So these are the mandatory cards. You gotta play 2, I think. It's just pushes through so much. So these are mandatory ones, right? And then what's rest is open for discussion, right? If I wasn't on Super Poly, I would take this out 100%. Targeted negate doesn't do anything in this meta. People eat through this so easy. This is just a way to clear boards, really. So keep that in mind. I think it's a habit to play this at this point, but if you're playing Branded, always keep in mind this is not mandatory. But with Branded and white as well, it's an option to use going second. So I keep it there for the time being. We'll see what future entails. This is probably one of my new staples in the deck, and with Branded and white, you keep it with Tempai around, even with one field spell, you know, it's a risk. So I feel like the way to kill your opponent is through this now. You puppet lock and then Branded and white into this. And this is my last one. I wasn't on this initially. It just feels bad to play Super Poly with just one target, and it's a pseudo target, which is this. One spicy option was this. And yes, I'm not playing Banishment, but this still comes up. So let's go through that line. I'm citing it currently, but it can be main just as well. The line is going second, and you're pushing through a board, and you're semi-breaking it, right? And you have no way to access Puppet. So you go Branded Fusion, say you search it with Alibor, or you have a Dark somewhere, right? Or you have Soriner in the graveyard, it doesn't matter. You go Branded Fusion, you send your Albaz, you just go through your typical lines, right? You go this, you go into this, and then banish your Dark. Right, discard, go into Mirror J. Classic. Nothing new here. Right? You keep pushing the board. Activate Mirror J, attack, whatever they have. Maybe a lot of follow-ups left. Maybe one monster left on the field. Clear this, go for this. Activate it. It's not really important at this point. You just go to end phase, and the way you play is you go into Quam, right? So at this point, Branded in red isn't really getting you anything that's valuable. So here I go for Albion, and then you search your Branded in red. So now on your opponent's turn, or your turn, whenever you want, you can go Branded in red, take Albion, and then go into this guy. So now you have 3 guaranteed interruptions, and then a search of this. Feels safer, yeah. And then this is on my side because it lets you play through Shifter. Not a direct line either, but it's gonna take a second more, so I don't want to make the video too long. We'll show that maybe next time. Still figuring things out. And then side deck, yeah, right now I have one of this. I can't really take this out. Every time I take it out, I regret it. Especially trying to break boards, you're gonna go to round 3 often, and it feels terrible to lose in time, so you want to keep it, I think. A lot of Link summons with Fiendsmiths running around, and Yubel goes into it too. It's important to recycle the hand and get to the best one possible, so I think it's pretty solid. I don't have Mulch Armies right now. I would play Mulch Army this meta for sure, for Yubel. Just your regular back row hate. Might go first thrust target. Extra just in case. Instead of Dark Ruler, I'm on this. Dark Ruler is answered very easy at the current meta, and this allows you to dodge and gain momentum, dodge targeting negates, and get its effect. So it's about keeping the momentum going. If you're noticing a trend between the drawing with this, dodging with Super Poly, drawing Allure, extra talents, you just need to keep your momentum going and try to get value and not die to one-on-one interruptions, because there's just that Yubel board is just scary, to be honest. And these are up for discussions. I like my chicken. And then this is just a single thrust target. To be honest, if you're playing Phantasme and you're on so many Bestials, you probably don't want to play this. But I'm testing it out. And this guy, idea is I want to either draw this or Super Poly and clear boards. So I take out normal summons going second, like this. But it's up for discussion as well. So if I'm thinking if I'm playing Mulch Army, I'm taking this 3 out. So you're playing this 3 and Mulch Army. So you're almost guaranteed to draw some cards between that and Allure and Super Bowls and this. And you're gonna draw a decent hand and hopefully be able to play the game.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for the discussion. And shout out.
Shout out to you. Hopefully we make another video after another talk.
Awesome. Thank you. Bye.